I'm Lighthouse Carol, and this is my retreat.
This marks the spot of West Point on PEI's western shores, home to one of the province's proudest landmarks, West Point Lighthouse. Once, it stopped boats from crashing into the shore. Since 1984, it lets travelers crash in its remodeled rooms. The transformation of the building is a result of the labors of Lighthouse Carol.
I got the nickname Lighthouse Carol because I have been so closely associated with the West Point Lighthouse. It's really unique. Visitors come, they get the chance to stay in an actual lighthouse.
We're from California.
We heard about this place, and it's a pretty cool place to stay in.
When electricity was added to the lighthouse, the keeper left, and it stood empty for several years. But Carol's feelings for the lighthouse, combined with a need to help her community survive, inspired her to revive it.
First we thought we would have it just as a museum, and then we realized museums don't pay for themselves. And someone said if we build the house back on, then we're going to have bedrooms. Why not have people stay there?
So, the rare privilege of bunking in a lighthouse can be yours for just $150 a night.
There are 13 rooms, one in the tower, one in the keeper's quarters, and they're more or less traditional, styled in the era of the lightkeeper's cottage, and the new ones are the contemporary ones.
For most visitors, sleeping in a lighthouse is a first-time experience. For Carol's family, the tradition dates back 138 years.
The first lightkeeper was my great-grandfather, William MacDonald, who was called Lighthouse Willie to distinguish him from the numerous other MacDonalds. He and his wife, Mariah, lived here at the lighthouse. They had 8 children, and one of their sons was my grandfather, Jack MacDonald. So I grew up hearing all the stories from the great aunts and uncles.
While the relatives talked the talk, Carol walked the walk, all the way up 4 flights. She also did the legwork in getting to know the lighthouse's inner workings.
It's a long climb to the top, but it's really worthwhile because there are displays and things to see as you go.
They don't build lighthouses anymore, and they don't build inns like lighthouses either. This dwelling is rock solid.
When we were refinishing the lighthouse, we deliberately left this corner so that people could see what's known as heavy frame construction. It's quite steep here. You'll be glad you're getting to the top. When you reach the light, this is the area that the keeper had to come to every 3 or 4 hours to make sure that everything was rotating as it should. One of the important things was to keep the windows extremely clean, both inside and out. This is the very kind of weather where the ships need the lighthouses to guide them on their way.
Then there was something Lighthouse Carol didn't expect to see.
One evening, I was coming down the stairs and happened to glance in at a window in one of the small bedrooms, and I thought for a moment I saw a bearded man that I took to be Lighthouse Willie. And I didn't say much about it because it was just a very momentary thing, and I thought people would think I was crazy. But not very long after that, one of the other directors was staying there, and when she left, she went up to the top of the tower, checked that all was well, and got in her car and went to leave, and she noticed a light on in that same bedroom where I had seen. Anyway, she turned off the light, went to leave again, and the light was on. So she told us later, I decided if there was somebody in there that wanted that light on that bed, they could darn well have it.
Lighthouse Willie was the original tenant of the building. All these years later, his presence lingers. Manning the lighthouse may have been Willie's finest hour, built in response to the devastation of the superstorm known as the Yankee Gale.
The Yankee Gale occurred in 1851, and at that time there was only one lighthouse on Prince Edward Island, and it was on the south shore, but all of the fishing was on the north shore. In total, 161 men were lost, and it certainly drove home the need to the government that they had to get more lighthouses there.
So up went the West Point Lighthouse, which continues to serve boaters and fishermen to this day.
I grew up within sight of the West Point Lighthouse. It's an enduring symbol. It's used by the fishermen. It's used by the other mariners. To me, it's a symbol of help, of stability, of people working together. And for our community here, it's become a way of preserving our culture, and it's very special.